You know, everything that we do in our daily lives begins with our thoughts. And yet we have between 10,000 and 60,000 thoughts every single day. Today we're going to talk about how to take control of your thoughts. So today we're going to talk about how to take control of your thoughts. Now, we've talked in other videos about how thoughts and beliefs are powerful. In fact, everything in our life comes from the thoughts that we think. The challenging thing is that we don't oftentimes control the thoughts that we think. So we have random thoughts that pop into our head all of the time. And there are other times where sometimes it seems like we're unable to control our thoughts. So they're being driven by something else, and that can be a challenge. But the biggest difficulty of controlling our thoughts is that most of them we're not even aware of. So if you remember, we are on autopilot about 90% of the time, which means the subconscious part of our brain is what is doing the thinking. And so our subconscious is filled with all of these learned or conditioned thoughts. We live in a world that is pretty much a world of scarcity. We're taught and conditioned to believe in lack, in competition, in fear. And so these thoughts are thoughts that are created throughout our life. They go into the subconscious part of our brain. The subconscious is directing our behavior most of the day. So we're triggered by events and things that happen around us. And what we do is we repeat over and over and over those same negative, fear-based thoughts in our mind. Now, they tell us that we have anywhere from 10,000 to 60,000 thoughts every day. Some of those thoughts are unique. Others are the same thoughts that we have over and over and over. So if we're in a pattern of negativity thinking, if we have false or limiting beliefs that we have conditioned ourselves to have throughout our life, and we keep repeating those, it's no wonder that we keep experiencing the same outcomes in our life over and over and over. Well, let's say that we decide that we want to take control of our thoughts and begin to manage them better. We know that our attention span is very short. In fact, the average attention span is about 7 seconds. So if I try to be aware of my thoughts so that I can manage them, I'm not going to be very successful at doing that because my mind easily just goes back to autopilot, where it's almost like I'm being thought. So there's a trick that can help us in managing our thoughts, and especially if we're having negative thoughts, and that is to pay attention to our emotions, because we know that our emotions are created by our thoughts. So we have events that happen, or situations or circumstances in our life. We have a thought about that event, and then that thought creates our emotion. Well, if we pay attention to our emotions and we identify emotions that maybe we don't want to experience, that are more fear-based, so emotions of fear, of sadness, jealousy, depression, anger, resentment, any of those negative kinds of emotions, when we're feeling those, that can be a cue or a clue to us to say, I need to pay attention right now. So I want to shift out of autopilot, and I want to become aware, and I want to pay attention to what's been happening around me. So what are the triggers? What are the events that are happening? And then what are the thoughts that I'm having that are creating this negative emotion? This will allow us an opportunity to consider our thoughts and to question ourselves of, one, are these the thoughts that I want to be thinking? Are there beliefs that are connected with these thoughts that are conditioned beliefs? And maybe those beliefs aren't correct or true beliefs. So I can begin to question them. I can look at, if I hang on to these beliefs, if I hang on to these thoughts, What kind of outcome is it going to create for me? Is it going to bring me to a state of happiness? Is it going to help me to live in abundance? Or is it going to create more of fear, scarcity, and lack? So that's one helpful tool that you can use to help manage your thoughts and to be aware of them, is to pay attention to your emotion. When you're feeling a negative emotion, use that as an opportunity to get off of autopilot, to become aware, and to clue into what are your thoughts, and then make a decision of whether those are the thoughts that you want to hang on to and give energy to, or do you just want to let them go and replace them with more productive thoughts. Hope you find this helpful today. Thank you. Thanks for joining us today. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel, invite your friends, and we'll see you again tomorrow.